Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah. I'm still in front of my failure. Life, materia, and everything. I'm pretty sure this is just Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primary problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. But you might take to the field suitably prepared. I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and he's a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzeum. The knowledge of his method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him to use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found in his camp in Central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke and the way will become clear. Yeah, that was what I was already shown you, materia melding. Who is Uplander? Come to tendering of Mutamix Bubblypots. Fighting tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, fighting tool changes to stony shine, name of materia. If materia join with other fighting tool, then big eyes, fighting tool gains power of airy self. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, Flongtabs reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings fighting tool to Mutamix, yes? Fighting tool is unstrong as eating tool. Make good teaching tool of power of materia. The materia master. Now eyes of Uplander point at fighting tool, yes? Materia joining with fighting tool. Fighting tool gains power of materia. Fighting tool reborn. Here, Uplander take fighting tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment itself, mind you, it must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned that dagger of yours from somewhat that would have struggled to cut a steak into a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia? When Uplander best fill brain cases with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants braincase to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander's best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mutamix. Yeah. Okay, and back to Minfilia. Okay, yeah. As you have seen, that wasn't all that interesting, just a reason to go there in case you haven't been already. And you could see the goblin language. Welcome back, Desiree. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful? Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you're aware, the quality of one's equipment can be a difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Desiree, so make it your ally. Now it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Please speak with me when you're ready to begin. What has arrived from Ifrit concerning our ongoing investigation? It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Amal'ja, the false priest. He revealed that he was due to meet with the Amal'ja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amal'ja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Amal'ja attend as planned. As the Amal'ja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provided to them, Desiree. Ifrit is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he's able. Until such time that he does, you will be the Science's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you've made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybar and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of a crystal. Okay, Flame Sergeant. You're Desiree Klingmore of the Science. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amal'ja and prise from them the whereabouts of the abductees. We lizard men aren't aware that their man Amal'ja has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of a Science. The rendezvous will take place in the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amal'ja's plot if the mission succeeds, Desiree. Let's make sure it does. Okay. Up there's the Invisible City. There's a bunch of undead there. Okay, and here's our destination. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amal'ja appear. Yes, sir. What's the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Our ambush got ambushed. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flames' clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat away while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Our ambush got ambushed, so that isn't good. Our Amal'ja friends will keep you company. Filthy traitor, when I get my hands on you. Die. Make Shizuka. How long will you last, I wonder? Another wave. Stay sharp, man. God damn it, is there no end to them? Our show is only just beginning. Put up your weapon or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! A sleep spell. Mean. Bringer. The rest of you, march. Traitorous scum. I would say we've been taken prisoner. I fear the Amal'ja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death with steel in hand. The Bowl of Embers now accessible. Listen well. These waters feed into the marches of Drybone. A short swim will see us to freedom. However, if all of us attempt to flee, we are like to be discovered. You alone must sneak out and assemble a rescue party. Once you have won free, seek out our comrades stationed at Drybone. He will show you a way back here. May the 12 speed your way. So this is if you want to escape now because you're not ready or you want to do other quests before. Listing yourself for our first trial. Lord of Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of Inferno, deliver us from our misery. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells! Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ifrit, huh? My one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frame mortal frame can serve as a vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance raketh clear, thou art of a godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thy existence is not to be suffered. So, and this is a trial. Unlike a dungeon, you basically just have one arena and that's it. One arena with a boss and that's it. Succumb to the Inferno. Surrender thyself to the fires of judgment. I believe I got it down, right? You got it down. Yeah, because if you don't kill the nail before a certain time runs out, Ifrit just instant kills the party. The blessing of light defies me. Huh. We had one of those before. Just in a different color. This is a fire crystal. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amal'ja zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelic than the last. Persistent lot. Huh. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame General's handpicked man. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Desiree. Had I known the mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. It's alright. But let us continue this conversation in a more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'dan interference into account. You should know better than to rely on 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely on. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any readings worth a damn. Not that there's aught worth a damn to read for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance into our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like this, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Okay, back in Camp Drybone. Ah, there you are, Desiree. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amal'ja will be less inclined to risk our wrath. For a time, at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amid all our misfortune, there's still a reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Desiree. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I've long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You meanwhile have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sense when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Okay, finally back. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in Masola, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join him at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Desiree her life. I wasn't there when the Amal'ja took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Desiree, it's good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amal'ja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Lim-Solomintza and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now, aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether. Crystals. It is for that reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with a why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well in the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of Aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which the primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrade in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. That is thanks to the power you possess. The Echo. We know not the whys of it, but those blessed with the Echoes are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with a primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that we will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Desiree. You may be sure it won't be long. Once the people learn the identity of a hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report, but all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there was any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Desiree. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to a Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Lusra would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Okay, but I end this episode here. So until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.